Greg Sullivan. Thank you very much for listening. Coming to you from my garage again, as I promised you. This presentation is based on what we feel special education is, as well as what our roles are going to be in special education. First off, I think it's very important to realize that special needs kids, their needs are special. We need to provide them several different needs, if you will. One is, right off the bat, is patience. I have a couple of children in my classroom here. We have 8 to 10 kids at any given time, and Haley and Jordan are ADHD, and they go back and forth competing with people's attention, and they're enough to drive you crazy if you just don't have the patience to realize you need to redirect constantly. Been doing it all year long. They haven't killed me yet, but it does require patience, and I do see some people in this field that don't have the patience that they should. Another thing that it requires is compassion. Brian, my one-on-one cerebral palsy child, is prone to spasms, hitting, punching. I've been bitten several times. But he's the one in the wheelchair. And if you don't realize that you have to be compassionate to someone who's in a wheelchair and have patience with them, I've been told a couple of times that I should report the abuse that goes on. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not abuse. That's just a child who doesn't want to be in a wheelchair and have spasms. So there's another thing too. You got to give 100%. There's one child in our room, Brooke, who looks forward to school every day. She smiles when she gets off the bus, and she smiles all day long, Down syndrome student, until she leaves. Then she starts to not smile as much, because you can tell that she's looked forward to being at school all day long. We've given her compassion, we've given her patience, we're giving 100%, and she knows it. And when she goes home, you can tell her balloon is a little deflated. So if you're not doing it for someone like Brooke, then you shouldn't be in this field, in my opinion. You got to think outside of the box. Tyler is one kid in our room occasionally. Tyler only gives 50% half the time, unless you tell Tyler that you can do work for a little while and then we'll do fun for a little while. Fun may be, in Tyler's case, I've found that he loves to ride on the elevator. That was never actually put in his IEP, or that was never actually part of his primary teacher's position that he should ride the elevator, but I found he likes it, and he also likes to rake every once in a while outside. So we do a little work in the classroom, we ride the elevator, we do a little raking, then we go back to working in the classroom, and it works fine for Tyler. So you got to think outside the box, in my opinion. One of the things that I really like about this text and about this course is looking at a child's strengths and not their weaknesses. If you teach to their strengths or try to build up their strengths, then it can actually offset their weaknesses. One example I have is Kanesha, who is in our classroom, she lacks focus. You can ask her a question and she deviates off and she's not with you. Now, she's a great orator, she likes to speak and she likes to talk, so we put her in front of the class and let her guide the lesson. And she is the one, she keeps on task, keeps on focus, because she's the one guiding the lesson here, which has worked wonders for her. Let's see, what else do I have? Realizing every child is different has also been a huge thing that I think special education, we need to realize that every child is different, and you can't teach one lesson plan or one way of teaching to one child and then come over to the next one and assume that this is not general education, this is special education. My role as a special educator in the future is going to be taking all of these traits and trying to blend them into the classroom the best I can and try to hold on to my sanity, and because I'm married to a wonderful woman, she's going to help me do that. My strengths are, I believe, my compassion and patience. I have drive and I have motivation to do this. Again, you can't go to school, at my school, every day and feel bad for yourself. These kids need our help. My weakness. Well, Dad always said that you need to recognize your strengths, but also own up to your weaknesses. One of my weaknesses is organization, and I have been trying to be better organized, and I will as we go forth. My previous career, I had an administrative assistant that took care of that, and quite frankly, I wasn't as organized as what I should be. So that's something I need to work on. I also am very untrained with the techniques, and I need to learn more and more of the techniques of what the experts say that we should be doing to help, whether it be Brooke, whether it be Haley, whether it be Brian, any of these children that really truly need our help. Where the heart is willing, it'll find 1,000 ways. Well, when it's lazy, it'll find 1,000 excuses, right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and sorry I went over.